Did you help make it? No doubt you did. Such miserable luck. To die by the sword you helped forge.
Set in medieval Bohemia in 1403, Warhorse Studios' Kingdom Come Deliverance simulates the reality of the time period, focusing on imitating an actual time and place as opposed to creating a fantasy realm.
Look at that lad. That's what I call craftsmanship.
As Henry, the son of a blacksmith, you start with no skills in combat, first aid, or even reading. Skills must be learned and developed if you are to survive.
That's it. Nice.
At initial glance, quests in Kingdom Come appear to work the same as in other games. You talk to an unplayable character and receive a quest, which you then set off to complete. But for Warhorse, the goal was to give you the option of completing the quest how you like it. This meant that quests were designed to be open-ended. The game will tell you what to do, but not how to do it. Organic quest design was a goal. The map is based on real locations. Castles and towns were constructed to be as historically accurate as possible. When the various pieces of world building were assembled, themes and stories would naturally emerge. With an emphasis in historical accuracy and role-playing, the conversations and dialogues had to be robust. Often you can talk your way out of a situation or stealth your way to completing an objective.
I may not look the part, but I know about honour and duty. And mine is to tell Sir Radzig what happened to the sword he commissioned.
Alright then, go ahead. It'll be your skin if Sir Radzig isn't pleased.
To allow greater flexibility, the team developed their own tool called Sculpt to implement the game's branching dialogue. Over time, they expanded it to include features to track NPCs, their locations, and their loot. These were essential due to the game having almost 80 quests. Of course, if you prefer to not talk your way out of a situation, or if a situation prevents it, combat is an option.
Look, I know things aren't easy. Your wife ran off, booze is dear these days, and you're as much use as a square wheel. It's no wonder you're short of coin. But a debt's a debt, and I can't leave here without something.
When you create a game that deals with a realistic, historical-based setting, that changes how you think about other systems, such as the combat. First-person, realistic melee combat was the goal. That meant the team had to consult historical experts to ensure accuracy with weapons, armor, and combat. They personally handled combat and armor to get an idea of the look and feel and weight of each piece. While historical accuracy was important, perfect accuracy would have made for poor gameplay. In an actual sword fight, you want to make the smallest moves possible, conserving your energy and hiding your moves from your enemy. However, that would have made the game so much more difficult. So enemies may telegraph their attacks in time for the player to react. Warhorse developed a special physics engine to ensure that weapons would actually collide. When two weapons collide, the weapons will strike each other and parry, physically moving away from each other. Every weapon and armor type had to be good for a certain situation. A sword is not always useful depending on the armor type of your opponent. Almost every type of weapon available at the time is available to you, resulting in potentially thousands of combat animations. Supporting the first-person combat is a classless RPG system. By leveling up your character, counterattacks and parrying becomes easier. Leveling up your skills means that enemies will move more predictably and your techniques will be more devastating. The biggest challenge for Warhorse was connecting it all together. They wanted you to feel like a real combatant would feel in a dangerous situation. At times, you will have to fight for your life and ward off immediate threats. Underpinning the realism and danger in the combat was the work of the team's animators. Motion capture was essential to capturing the game's animations. Human characters and some animals, such as horses, were motion captured, then heavily edited for in-game purposes. Fortunately for the team, they could capture in-house at their own motion capture studio. Motion capture allowed the team to save time as opposed to keyframing every animation in the game. It allowed them to marker both people and props so their movements and actions will be detected by the OptiTrack's prime cameras, which are cameras designed for tracking fast, precise motions. It also allowed the studio to have raw animations available within hours of shooting, which meant that the next steps in the production pipeline could happen right away. Once captured, characters were modeled and rigged in 3ds Max and Maya by the character art and tech team. The team then cleaned up the animations in Motive and Autodesk Motion Builder before integrating them into CryEngine. A precise production pipeline and solid execution was required to bring the world of medieval Bohemia to life.
Oh, noble sir, I'm as honored as any simple maid can be. And apart from my beauty, what else might your worship desire?
The strength of Warhorse Studios' debut game is in its world building. Realistic animation, first-person combat, and non-linear quest design help the team to create a world that is unforgiving and savage.
I'm in no mood for talk. You're dead.
Just like it was in the 15th century.